Jersey Joe here. Let's take a ride on a San Francisco cable car. Today, we're gonna take rides on a San Francisco cable car. I'm so excited. First, we'll go from downtown at Powell Market Streets north to Fisherman's Wharf. We'll ride on the inside for this journey, but on the way back, later in this video, we'll be hanging off the outside of the car. Now, there are 3 cable car lines to choose from and 2 that head towards the Fisherman's Wharf area that we are journeying to. We get in line at the downtown Round Table Terminus at Powell and Market Streets. Now, there are several cars lined up, but we find that they generally operate on a 20-minute schedule. With all the people in line, we're in for quite a bit of a wait. One part of the wait in line is the show to see how crew members reverse the cars for the return journey. Check this out. The old-fashioned wooden turntable is manually operated. A crew member releases the locking device with a pole, and they each grab a part of the trolley car and rotate. Once the track lines up, the crew members gather at the back and push the car forward onto the new line. While we continue to wait, it's a good time to buy our tickets on the Muni app. The ride costs $8 and they will check it once you're on board, and you can also pay with cash or use a Clipper card. You can also buy your tickets on the car. We slowly inch our way to the boarding location as car after car loads, holding maybe a few dozen people. The line is an extremely long wait, and a lot of people get mad and, well, they give up. Now, they do have a bunch of other cars sitting right there on standby, so they really could speed this timetable up. Finally, we reach the loading position. The conductor counts off the next group of people, and it's a free-for-all to board. You can enter the center and rear of the car to access the inside room, or sit sideways along the upper half of the car. Finally, there are also standing positions that we will partake of on the way back, but for now, we're heading inside into the little enclosed room. Now, this room features 2 rows of benches along the side and straps for another row of standing passengers. With a ring of the bell, we're finally off. Now, at the beginning, we have our own right-of-way, but after a block, we're in city traffic. We are technically on the Powell-Mason cable car. Now, that will drop us off a few blocks away from the other Powell-Hyde cable car terminus. The other line, the California, goes east-west towards the Embarcadero and the center of downtown. The cable car started running on the San Francisco streets in 1873 and had 23 different lines, but only 3 remain in service to this day. The cars will stop at designated street corners along the way, but it can get tough to find a seat as they fill up pretty fast from the originating station.
No room. Stop. Next car.
They're technically not stations, more like bus shelter islands. Once it's full, the operator says, sorry, and it just moves on. It's easier to get a ride at the start. The cars are pulled by cables running under the street, and when you're walking out and about in the city streets, you can hear the cable moving under the ground. While there are a few commuters on this train, this ride is mostly made up of tourists going the entire length of the line. The San Francisco cable cars are listed on the National Register of Historic Places, and only one other city can make that claim, the New Orleans streetcars. You can get a real-time map of the position of any cable car at any time on sfmta.com. And before we know it, we're at the northern terminus at Bay and Taylor Streets, a few blocks away from Fisherman's Wharf. It kind of dumps you off in the middle of a residential area. As night falls, it's time for our journey back. Once again, we're back in line, but this time the wait is much shorter as it's so much later in the evening. I once again loaded up my ticket on the app, and it's time to board.
This time, I'm going to ride on the outside.
While we wait to depart, you can see the crew hanging out, having food and a ciggy break outside their little headquarters.
All right, here we go. Please hold on. Try not to lean out. Watch for oncoming cable cars and traffic.
Oh, the bell sounds, and once again, we're off. You have to really hold on tight on the outside. There is nothing to stop you from falling off, possibly onto a parked car or in the middle of a busy street. You probably shouldn't do this if you've had a few adult beverages.
This does not feel safe.
I mean, we are inches away from obstacles, so they are right to tell you not to hang too far off the sides of the car.
The insurance regulations alone tell me the rules on this thing are grandfathered in.
We wind back towards downtown. This time part of the route is on a different street. Most of the cable car lines remained very popular until the 1906 earthquake, when many of the cars burned as the rest of the city did. As the 1920s and 30s rolled on, some of the lines were replaced by buses. The city finally took control of the remaining 5 lines in 1952, cutting them to the 3-line system we have today. And once again, we're back at the Powell Market turntable. We depart behind a few parked coaches with little fanfare. And just for fun, here's a time lapse of that entire dusk ride back downtown. The cable cars generally run from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. daily, but I did see a few of them running later than that downtown, but I couldn't really tell if they were in regular fare service. All in all though, it was a cool ride and kind of fun to be on a piece of history. I'm so glad I got my turn on a San Francisco cable car.
Okay, Jersey Joe, back with you in Union Square area, San Francisco, down on Powell Street. This is where the cable car starts, down in the Midtown area. Okay, let me share a few things I learned about this thing. First off, take it later in the evening when the crowds aren't really there. I waited over an hour during the midday rush for this thing, but my evening route, I only had to wait for 2 trains. Earlier, I think it was 7 went by, so definitely an hour. I waited maybe 10 minutes the most, so that wasn't bad. Number 2, buy your tickets only ahead of time. They have an app. It's the Muni app over here. You just download it on your phone. It was $8.50. I saw people on the train were like, oh, let me buy tickets there. Just do it ahead of time. They scan it and you move on. Number 3, the easier thing, just ride on the outside like I did. Don't go on the inside like they did my first trip. Ride on the outside, it's kind of cool, but hold on to your camera, hold on to your children, hold on to everything, because literally you are steps away from people's parked cars, pedestrians. That's kind of crazy. And maybe there is a chance you game the system by getting on board on a stop en route, but like on my first car, it was packed. They weren't letting anybody in. Eventually, after a few stops, let people in. On the way back here in the evening, okay, you could get on. So that was it. It was cool. It was a lot of fun. I'm kind of mood for some rice-a-roni now, but it's neat riding a landmark like this. But also, this thing could never be built in this day and age. With insurance regulations, and our bureaucrats, they would never let you hang bang off a car, like zipping through city streets like I got to do, but it's enjoyable. And if you want to see more, click the like and subscribe button for all the fun here on the Big Jersey Joe 50 YouTube channel. Game shows, bar talk, and travel experiences like this waiting for you each and every week. All right, I'm going to go out about and enjoy the rest of my day here in San Francisco. Jersey Joe and friends saying thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, I hope.